Ghana in their traditional all-yellow outfits, and we're underway in the second semi-final of the Under-17 World Championships at a rather damp North Harbour Stadium in Auckland. There has been rain falling in the last half an hour. It's not very heavy, but it is a persistent drizzle, which will make the surface very, very slippy indeed. A huge crowd has turned out at North Harbour in spite of the conditions. Looking forward to a very entertaining game. And when you look at the two records of these sides in this Under-17 World Championship, the history of it, both Ghana and Brazil have scored 66 goals and conceded 22. So you just can't separate the two sides. Eduardo Anderson, the long ball. Touch off, looking for Adriano. And it looks like Leonardo, the man who got that hat-trick against Paraguay in Dunedin on Sunday afternoon, is going to play down the middle, Ricky Herbert.
Well, an exceptional hat-trick in the quarterfinals to get them through. And tonight, Gordon, as you've already said, a wonderful spectacle for the spectators who have turned out, and they have certainly turned out in numbers. Two very talented sides, and the football we're going to see tonight will be absolutely wonderful.
Anderson down to Adriano, who came on as a substitute against Paraguay. As I said, just a rearrangement in the Ghana side, as management has had to make a change due to the suspension of Lawrence Kenya, who was sent off against Uruguay in the quarterfinal in Napier on Saturday, and he actually got a 2-match suspension. This man, Michael Donkour, comes in to replace him. So Kenya got a 2-match suspension, and he won't take any further part in the tournament. Of course, both these teams have 2 games remaining. This one on either the final or the 3rd, 4th playoff. Leonardo looking to take on Donkour. He does well. And Don Borte unable to keep the ball in play. The Ghana bench wrapped up against the cool conditions. It's not cold, but it is cool. No doubt a lot of nerves out there in the opening minutes of this semi-final. The Brazilian coach, Carlos Cesar, has come out and mentioned that Ghana are over-physical in their play. And I'm sure that hasn't endeared himself to the Ghanaians.
Early opportunity here for Adriano, prepared to take the ball forward, and sends quite a cracking shot just to the left-hand side of the Ghanaian goalpost. But really good to see. We're going to see some big matchups here tonight, Gordon, and I think Donkour's been brought into the side for the Ghanaians, and he's certainly looking to take the attention of Leonardo for the Brazilians, so that's certainly going to be a pairing well worth watching throughout the evening.
And with the drizzle, Ricky, the surface will be very slippy, so mistakes could be crucial.
We were just checking it prior to the game, Gordon. It's a wonderful surface here at North Harbour Stadium. We've done extremely well with it, but it has got a little bit of moisture on top with this rain, and it's certainly a stud, and the players are going to have to adjust to it early on.
Ado, the championship leading goal scorer with 5. He scored 2 in the quarter-final against Uruguay on Saturday, and he scored a hat-trick in the 7-1 win over Thailand in the final group match for Ghana. So one of the danger men in the African side. Here's another one, Don Borte. He also scored a hat-trick against Thailand in that 7-1 thrashing. And he is to take this corner. Coming in near post, Rubinho had to be alert to the corner which swung in at the near post. And somehow the Brazilian keeper clawed it out. Lamptey looking for the run of Don Borte. The flag's got up for offside.
this is really what the Ghanaians and the Brazilians are very, very capable of. I mean, a wonderful corner bend into the near post there, and the Brazilian keeper having to do all sorts of acrobatics just to get to the near post, just to clear it to safety. But Gordon, I think we're going to see a lot of this tonight.
Don Borte with the cross. That was comfortably by Ricardo. Challenges going in, Don Borte again. This time it's easy for Robinho. Referee just having a word with Bruno down in front of us for that challenge on the edge of the box. The rain is getting heavier in the last few minutes. As you can see on your screen there, Bruno. The referee had a word with him about his challenge. Well, this is the fourth time these two sides have met in the final stages of the Under-17 World Championships. Ghana lead the head-to-head by 2-1. They met in the quarterfinals in Italy in 1991, Ghana winning that match by 2-1. They then met in the final 2 years later, and Ghana won that by 3-2. That was actually in 1995 in Ecuador, and they met again in the final 2 years ago. This time Brazil ran out winners by 2-1. Marquinhos, who missed the quarter-final against Paraguay due to suspension, gets his place back in place of Matias, who had a good game against the Paraguayans in Dunedin. The mistake given away to Leo. Looking for the run of Adriano.
Leo certainly a player this evening that will need lots of attention by the Ghanaians. Thought his display down in Dunedin, Gordon, was absolutely fantastic, and his ability to run the midfield, to pick out players, and he certainly played a very important part in Leonardo's hat-trick.
Certainly Ghana aren't intimidated by playing Brazil. It looked as though Paraguay perhaps were when they lined up for the start of their quarter-final on Sunday. They were fired up in the tunnel, the Paraguayans, but once the whistle went to kick off the match, things changed. A very damp evening in Auckland, but it hasn't stopped a huge crowd turning out at North Harbour for this semi-final. Launched into the edge of the penalty area. Bruno deals with that comfortably. Eduardo. Looking for the run of Adriano. He's switched with Leonardo. And again, the players just finding it difficult to keep control of the ball on this slippy surface. Kaka back to his captain, Walker. Eduardo. Kaka likes his chances. And keeper Balahane had to be awake.
The technique of Kaka here really to the fore, and the ability just to bend it into the, trying to bend it into the top post of the Ghanaian goalkeeper. Again, just a wonderful piece of play.
Anderson to take the right wing corner for Brazil. And he'll look to swing it in, just slipping on the delivery. There's no wind tonight really to talk of, Ricky, so the rain shouldn't affect the players too much, apart from making the surface rather slippy.
No, I think it's just a matter of adapting to that surface as early as they can, Gordon. Ghana's experienced some conditions like this down at Napier, so I'm sure they'll be fine to cope with it in these early stages. But Let's hope it doesn't detract a little bit from the footballing side, because what we've got on show tonight is certainly two of the more dominant teams in the world. These sides have fought out the big spoils in the under-17 competition for a long time now, and it certainly is, Gordon, a privilege to have these two sides playing here tonight.
Ghana have played in this tournament 5 times prior to arriving in New Zealand, and on 4 of those occasions they've made the final. The other occasion was in Scotland in 1989, their first occasion, when they didn't qualify past the group stage. And on 2 occasions, as we see a chance for the Brazilians, it looked like an offside, but the flag didn't go up. The flag has not got up until now, and the corner has been given. But it certainly looked like Adriano had taken up an offside position.
Just a deflection off the Ghanaian here, and the Brazilian comes through and has a shot. I think probably at this stage the linesman was probably waiting to see if the 2 players got involved in the play.
So Bruno with the corner. Yeah, plenty of numbers in the box for Brazil. There's a good corner, looking for Adriano. Back in by Ricardo to Adriano, and Ricardo, and finally Ghana scramble it away. Leo. There's a whole host of blue shirts on the left side. Here's Kaka, Adriano and Marquinhos in the box. Leonardo takes a deflection. We'll get another corner.
Corner played in here, causing Ghana all sorts of problems, really failing to get it clear. Again, I think the introduction of Adriano here played a big part, and here's Leonardo just getting a crack on, again giving them another opportunity through a corner.
Another corner for Bruno. Again, the blue shirts are forward, looking for Adriano. Oh, headed away by the Ghanaian defence. Got numbers at the back post. This time the flag has got up for offside. It was the danger man Leonardo who had taken up a position at the back post.
Interesting to see the 2 inclusions tonight, Gordon, for the Brazilians. Marquinhos playing in a central role in the defence, and Adriano, probably 2 boys levelling out at about 6'4", so perhaps that's going to be a tactic of the Brazilians tonight, something for us to all keep an eye on.
Leo, one of the players who ran the show in midfield for Brazil on Sunday. Lamptey. Adu just unable to bring it under control. And a mistake by Bruno, but he's extricated himself from a difficult position and shown a wonderful piece of skill, the Brazilian Bruno. Now the captain Walker has been caught out. But no thoughts there from Bruno, the right fullback for Brazil, to hoist it long. Ghana, top goal scorers at the World Championships. They've scored 15. Of course, that was boosted by the 7 goals they scored against the very weak Thailand side. Two players from both these sides are on yellow cards. Michael Essien, the number 4 for Ghana, and Ismail Adu, the top goal scorer for the African side. He'll have to be very careful. Another booking this evening would knock them out of the final if they were to get there. And the first booking is to go against Michael Doncourt. It's not Michael Doncourt, it's actually Anthony Obadai who's picked up the first booking. Two Brazilians who have been booked are Eduardo and Leo. Here's Obadai, who picks up the first yellow of the evening.
We saw a good early indication, Gordon, from the referee as the two captains were tossing, that he certainly wasn't going to stand for any nonsense tonight, and right now in the early stages he's certainly dictated, and as we saw, Ghanaian, first one into the book, and the referee's certainly not going to accept any of those tonight.
Tete. Leo. Strong run from Leo. He's a big, tall player. Leonardo's gone down under the challenge from Ibrahim. The referee has wave play on. Winning the challenge and winning the free kick as well. There's a challenge from Addo. As I was saying, one of the players who's already had a yellow card picked it up in the quarterfinals. Eduardo. Leonardo. He likes his chances. Leonardo! There we see the dangers of this very slippery surface, and in the end Bana Hene did enough to get it away from his goal area.
Well, again, just the ability for Leonardo to hit the target. The technique was wonderful, the strike was wonderful, and I think in these conditions, as you said, Gordon, the ability just to land it within the surface of the goal is certainly going to cause the goalkeepers tonight all sorts of problems.
Well, that's the worst shot a goalkeeper wants to receive, the ball that bounces just in front of him. And this evening, that would pick up a lot of pace off this surface. And you must give credit to Bana Hene. He did enough to get his body behind it. Kaka. This game has started at a frenetic pace. These pictures going live to all the continents around the world, and already just over 17 minutes gone in the match. No score, but it's been highly entertaining so far. Leo looking for Kaka. Doncourt. Essien. Player that comes with big raps, Michael Essien. And the free kick gone against Anderson. I think it had gone for something other than the boot up, but he certainly got a crack late on.
It didn't really appear to be too much on this one, Gordon. I think just two players, contact, perhaps a hand in there, and again, maybe just a little slight overreaction from the Ghanaian.
Lacan almost catching Rubinho. Dom Borte almost catching the Brazilian keeper asleep.
Positioning of the keeper very, very crucial tonight, as we said, with the surface so slippery. And the Brazilian keeper, just as we see Dom Borte getting a lovely flick on, the Brazilian keeper just advancing slightly off his line to see the ball skid past, fortunately go past the left-hand post.
Kaka in quickly to gather possession for Brazil. Eduardo losing out. Ataku can't pick up the loose ball. It's won by Walker. The only player in this Brazilian side who's on an overseas contract is the captain, Walker. Plays his football in Holland with Ajax of Amsterdam. There you see the drizzle continuing at North Harbour. It hasn't dampened the spirits of the supporters who've come out, all the 22 footballers on the field. Dangerous cross from Marquinhos. Adaku!
Adaku, what a wonderful strike. There was nothing holding him back on this one. He saw a great opportunity. The goal was begging. Lovely strike. Half-pie challenge here from the Brazilian, quite prepared to pull back, and Adaku at full steam strikes just to see it rise above the Brazilian goal.
There was no thought of Adaku pulling out of that shot. One of the Brazilians was coming in to make the challenge, but he was having a shot no matter what. 20 minutes gone in the game, still no score. Chances at both ends, however.
I think this is what's going to make it so exciting tonight, Gordon. Both sides, they have 22 players on the park that are more than capable of turning a game themselves.
One of the stars for Ghana this tournament, Don Borte. 3 goals in the championship. He came, as I said, in that 7-1 win over Thailand in Napier a week ago. So a free kick in a dangerous position for Ghana. Robinho trying to organise Kaka and Bruno as his wall. Don Borte tries his luck, but it was always bending wide of Robinho's goal.
I'm not sure that was the actual delivery place for the Ghanaians on this occasion, but players lurking at the far post look a better bet.
Donkor keeping it in play, but surrenders the possession to Brazil. Kaka looking to run at the Ghana defence. Walker gets it back from Kaka, looking for Leo. Anderson wins the free kick for Brazil. Persistence more than anything from Anderson, won the free kick. So they're a fair way out, Brazil, but Eduardo, I think, likes his chances from what must be about 35, 40 metres. 2 men in the Ghanaian, 3 men in the Ghanaian wall with one Brazilian helping out. Eduardo for the long way out. It wasn't far away. Rather ambitious from Eduardo.
Again though, Gordon, I think this is what these players are certainly capable of. They have no fears in these sort of distances and ranges of being prepared to have a strike at goal, and I think the players are certainly encouraged to do this, and the quartet of the Brazilians playing up front, the mobility of them, the movement of them, just entitles them to shift around the park. At this stage they're moving the Ghanaian defence, just trying to shift with what looks to be very much a man-for-man marking role by their back four.
Anderson. Leo, a lot of space, middle of the park, looking for the run of Adriano. Looked like he was offside and just loses his footing. Well, the official down on this near side is not keen on raising the flag because he certainly looked offside on that occasion, Adriano. It's the second occasion the big number 18 has appeared from this position anyway to be in an offside position and hasn't been flagged. Lovely play from Adaku. Easy for Marquinhos. Loose ball being picked up by a yellow shirt. Leo. Kaka. Looking for Leo again, the pass going straight. And just a bit of possession. Been given up a bit easily in the middle of the park. Adriano. They win a corner.
Adriano's certainly being used in the target role tonight, Gordon, but there he is. He's prepared to take that one down on his chest, get the strike away at goal, and wins the Brazilian side a corner. But he's obviously the target man. They're going to use his height, get balls delivered into the box, and get runners like Leonardo coming off him.
Sabrina with this corner. The Brazilians certainly have had their share of corners. Another good deep one. Played by Essien. Back into the box, deflection! The deflection came off a Ghanaian defender, and Brazil have taken the lead.
Again, it comes, the pressure's coming. Brazil, this is about their fourth corner now in the first half, and well cleared though by the Ghanaians, but again, what a wonderful strike, first time by Leonardo, back into the pack of the Ghanaians, and unfortunately for the defender, a deflection. Again, Ghanaians clearing it to the edge of the box. Leonardo with a wonderful strike, coming off the Ghanaian, fortunately nestling in the back of his own net.
Well, there's Leonardo celebrating. I couldn't quite see who it came off, as we see somebody being booked. Here's the challenge coming in from Essien, and he's got booked, and Essien is out of the final should Ghana make it. So Brazil leading by a goal to nil. Hard to tell whether it was Obadiah or Adu who swung a boot at that shot from Leonardo. I'm sure Leonardo will claim it. But Michael Essien, one of the stars for Ghana. He won't be playing on Saturday. Here's another chance, it could be another goal! And this time it's an own goal from Tete. Two goals in 2 minutes for Brazil, and they're both own goals. Kaka getting the congratulations, but I think it was an own goal, Ricky.
Amazing stuff here. Again, just a simple classic ball in here by Anderson. Slippery conditions, the Ghanaians here, we have Anderson plays a wonderful ball into the box, and the Ghanaian just losing his feet under the tricky conditions, just to see it dribble across. Well followed up by Kaka just to tap it in, but unfortunately that one again, Gordon, goes down as number 2 own goal.
It was Stephen Tete, very definitely turned that one into his own goal. And this will be interesting to see whether Ghana can keep their composure. We haven't yet had half an hour. And the Africans find themselves 2 goals down. And Ghana have lost only 3 games at this level. 2 of those have been in finals. So losing, not a common occurrence for the Africans. So this could be a long throw. Michael Doncourt been given the duties. Walker tidying up. Doesn't tidy up too well for Brazil. It's all a bit frantic down in that bottom corner. So 15 minutes till the half-time break, and a lot of work to do for Ghana. very happy with the way their team have been performing this evening. Lamptey goes down, and there's also a Brazilian down. Bruno is down. Well, here's the goal, the second goal for Ghana, and it's a definite own goal. Kaka doesn't touch it till the ball crosses the line. So Stephen Tete will be the man credited with the own goal. The first one also coming off a Ghanaian player, but I think Leonardo quite happily try and claim it. Donkor, Adeku, Domborte. It's lively up from Ghana. Osei. Adu, Osei!
If there's a side well capable of getting themselves back into the game, it's the Ghanaian side, and Osei, just a lovely ball falls for him just to tap into the side of the net, but unfortunately we see this one disappear over the bar as well.
Adriano, lovely skills from Leonardo. Kaka. Just trying something that was a bit too fancy on that occasion. Leonardo. The drizzle seems to have stopped at North Harbour for the first time in this match. And quite a pleasant evening out there now. There's some lighter clouds above us, so things are pretty even in the shots department. But Brazil leading Ghana by 2-0. They didn't look too convincing in the group stage, Brazil. They beat Australia in their first game 2-1, but then struggled to 2 scoreless draws with Mali and Germany. The Brazilian coach on his feet, still barking out the instructions to his team. They can't afford to relax. But Brazil certainly stepped up a gear in that quarter-final. And are looking good value for their 2-goal lead at this point. Donkor. Ibrahim. Well read by Ricardo. Adriano makes a good diagonal run. Receives the ball from Leonardo. Just Leonardo in the box, but he's a danger man if Adriano can find him. Here comes Kaka. Chance for Brazil.
Good ball in here from Adriano, just finding Kaka's found some space at the back of the box. Wonderful technique and a wonderful strike to again get a shot on target. But Adriano breaking away to the left-hand side from his marker, pinpointing Kaka at the back stick. And again, a wonderful strike on goal.
Well, we've seen the Ghanaians fight back from a goal down in their quarter-final against Uruguay. And then down to 10 men at that stage to win the quarter-final with a golden goal in extra time. So they're one team in this tournament that you cannot afford to relax against. Leo. Lovely piece of skill from Leo. The flag stayed down. Leonardo. He's got Adriano and Kaka in the box. Leonardo! Great save by Banahane. A mistake though, and Adriano can't finish off. And they can't believe it.
There's a great opportunity here for the Brazilians, and a wonderful strike here by Leonardo. The keeper only managing just to parry it onto the 6-yard box. Not cleared very well again by the Ghanaians, and falling definitely here for Adriano. And one would imagine Gordon in such a fine position, a Brazilian would take that one away.
There he is, the man who missed the sitter. But it's easy in the commentary box. Anderson looking for Leonardo, who managed to manufacture a bit of space for himself and a lovely shot. But it was a fantastic save from Banahane. We're into the last 10 minutes of this first spell. Second semi-final of the Under-17 World Championships from North Harbour in Auckland. Brazil leading by 2-0. Bomborte. His header wasn't a good one. Kaka, Walker, nice interchange, lovely skill from Kaka. And the flag has gone up on this occasion.
The Brazilians are really starting now going to create a lot of space down the right-hand side of the Ghanaian defence. And again, the ability of Adriano and Leonardo to shift the Ghanaian defenders. The mobility up front is really, really very good. And with Leo coming through midfield, he's got the ability to pinpoint these runners.
Leonardo almost losing his marker. It's quite interesting to note that Leonardo didn't make his first start in this tournament until the quarterfinal on Sunday. Tackle from Doncourt. Marquinhos crashing into Edwards-Osei, and he's going to be booked for the challenge, Marquinhos. Just back from suspension, Marquinhos.
Just letting the Ghanaian, just letting the ball run by. A wonderful piece of play in the Brazilian. Fortunately, on the slippery conditions, marking a little tightly on this occasion.
The referees noticed something, telling Osei and Ricardo to leave each other alone. So Doncourt, another chance to deliver a good free kick. Walker just a bit short, couldn't get his head to it, but Brazil come away through Kaka. Leonardo, 3 against 4. Leonardo, could he go all the way?
Well, this is certainly turning defence into attack at the quickest momentum. And here's Leonardo striking a shot just onto the upright of the post. The ability of this side, Gordon, to break so quickly from defence was just a wonderful part of the movement on that occasion.
Well, some of the players who started ahead of Leonardo in the group matches must be some footballers, because this guy is a wonderful talent. He scored a brilliant hat-trick against Paraguay in the quarterfinals, and he's shown tonight he has a big future in the game. Five minutes till half-time. Brazil holding on to their 2-goal advantage, and they're holding on to it quite comfortably, really. And with the chances they've had, it could seriously be more than 2.
Well, the Brazilian coach up on his toes still, but I just think he's got a few concerns of just some of the tackles that have been coming in by the Ghanaians, and he certainly doesn't want his players to drop the level of performance they've put in so far.
Eduardo very strong in the middle of the park for Brazil. They've touched with the outside of the right foot. Walker. Lamptey. Obadiah. Here's Lamptey again. Needs some support. Communication up front for Ghana. Not quite working this evening. At this stage anyway. Leo. Lovely run from Leo. Eduardo. Kaka. Lamptey able to bring it away, but his first touch was very poor indeed.
Just really struggling at this stage, just to make that final pass count. Their build-up play through the middle of the park and into the front runner seems to be fine, but they just can't really penetrate past the back four of the Brazilians, and really just need Dombote and Obdai just to shift their movement a little bit. The back four of the Brazilians are very, very strong.
Well, I'm sure Ghana will be keen to have a break at half-time and just get things organised. On the other hand, Brazil, who want it to continue, they don't want a half-time break to come. Dominated this first period. So, another long throw from Donkor. Looks like he's won the corner. So a late chance for Ghana to get themselves back into the match. It'll be a good time to score, just under 2 minutes till half-time. Rapinho, not a good punch, but somehow he survives. And Brazil counter-attack very quickly.
Dangerous corner here swung in by the Ghanaians. And Rubinho, just the punch was all wrong. His technique on that occasion was all wrong, and it bounced down right through the defenders, and lucky on that occasion to be cleared.
Donkor finding Lamptey. Looks to take on Bruno, and the referee waves away claims for a free kick. Certainly looked like he was obstructed by Bruno. Nice layoff. There's Lamptey again. Obadiah looking for the run of Osei. Well, things not going to plan. The first 45 minutes of this match, Ricky, for Ghana?
Well, it's the side I've selected, Gordon, so we're going to have to get a few things right in the second half.
Adriano. Nice cross. Along the edge of the penalty area to Leo. And somehow Ghana scramble it away, but every time Brazil have gone forward in this first 45 minutes, they've looked dangerous.
Brazil really have made their chances count, Gordon, and the ability to put the ball into the danger areas. And tonight the conditions have played a major part in that, but they've been prepared to stick it in there where it counts. And unfortunately for the Ghanaians, they put 2 in the back of their net. certainly to the delight of the Brazilians.
So we're into time added on at the end of the first half. There'll be a minute of injury time to be played. So it shows that this match has been played in terrific spirit between these sides. Didn't look that way in the tunnel prior to the match. Adriano wins the free kick. And Brazil will just take their time on this occasion. Anderson is down. The referee's got his back to him. Sees him now. He's asked for the stretcher. It looked like Anderson actually indicated that he needed a stretcher. So it'll be interesting to see how Anderson reacts once he's gone off.
Here we have, it just seems to be a simple clash of the bodies there, and not a lot in that one, Gordon.
That was the later one against Adriano. We didn't see the one against Anderson, but he's going off. He might as well stay off because played almost 2 minutes of injury time. So I'm sure the referee will allow this free kick and then call it quits. Adriano and Leo and Leonardo sizing things up for Brazil. They're a long way out, but again, dipping ball. It's Adriano. The ball does its job very well indeed. You can hear the boos ringing around the ground for Anderson, the Brazilian who's come back onto the field. Well, it certainly looked very serious when Anderson went down, but he's back on the field, recovered, and a very disappointing sight to see it, these under-17 world champions. The only thing really that's been wrong with them is the half-time whistle goes, and Brazil had dominated the first 45 minutes of this semi-final at North Harbour Stadium. Really. Have to do something special in this second spell if they're to make their 5th final in the last 5 attempts. Leonardo, already a strong start from Brazil. Doncor giving the ball away and surrendering a throw into Brazil. Bruno, lovely first touch from Bruno. Kaka, and the goal kick has been awarded. So a big job in the second 45 minutes, Ricky, for Ghana to keep their hopes alive in this tournament.
Well, we've got to see them come out now, really, Gordon, and attack this Brazilian defence. As we said before, if any side is capable of doing that in this tournament, it's certainly the Ghanaian side, and they've got some wonderful players in there. They'll be certainly disappointed with the 2 own goal chances that have gone in, but they've got 45 minutes here to certainly get themselves back in for a chance to play in the finals.
Banahene made a couple of very good saves in the first spell to keep his side in the match, really. Strong, powerful header from Leo. Adriano getting in front of the defender, Ibrahim. Eduardo Okay. Taken quickly by Banahene on this occasion. The ball just not dropping this evening for Ghana. Lamptey, who hasn't had a lot to do, really hasn't been involved that much in the game. Just losing his footing there and allowing Brazil to pick up possession. Playing very, very comfortably now, Brazil. Osei. Marquinhos, no mucking around. And a substitution is going to be made. Ibrahim is off. Nkrumah is on. Here's Nkrumah, his first touch in this game. Nkrumah, and the first touch in the tournament. This is his first game, and what a time to come on. The second half of the semi-final with your team down by 2 goals. That ball just holding up, and Essien and Nkrumah just getting in each other's way. Essien, this somehow gets hold of the ball. Here's Nkrumah. Anderson with the throw. Adriano turning away from Nkrumah. Chance for Leo. Atiku. Looking for the Valevose. And again, Marquinhos makes the challenge. There is the substitute, Nkrumah, on for Ibrahim. The referee gives a foul throw against Nkrumah as the ball is very slippery. Still winning the throw again. The overall rankings for these tournaments started in 1985 in China. Ghana is ranked as the top nation out of the 44 who have qualified prior to this tournament, and Brazil at number 2. And as I stated earlier in the game, you can't separate them. Prior to this match, they both scored 66 goals in the finals tournament and both conceded 22. 5 minutes into the second spell, that's all changed because Brazil have a 2-goal lead. Eduardo. Kaka, Adriano and Leonardo in the bed in the box. And a wasted opportunity from the Brazilian midfielder.
Eduardo just struggling to find his distance on that occasion, Gordon, but interesting to see that the Ghanaian defence on that time were really prepared to push further forward just to decrease the space that he was able to play the ball into, and probably finding that the first 2 mistakes and conceding those 2 own goals, the defenders were probably far too deep onto the goalkeeper.
Lavino, a comfortable catch. Launching a huge ball down the middle of the park, but it's easy for Essien. Nkrumah, just a bit slow in Nkrumah, and allowed Adriano to make the tackle. Osei. Lamptey. Lomborte just losing his footing, and the attacking opportunity was gone. Nice play. Domborte. Here's a chance from the edge of the box. The flag has stayed down. And Adu keeps it in play. Not a good cross, however. Run being made by Leonardo on the diagonal. He may pick up the loose ball. Ataku. And Ricardo is going to go into the referee's book as well.
Adu doing extremely well, just laying the ball off the path of Ricardo coming through, but Ricardo just leaving the trailing foot. And referee finding on this occasion a yellow card.
Kruma with the free kick. Mistake from Bruno. Haven't seen too many of those from Bruno. He's had a very good game at right fullback for Brazil this evening. And another mistake. Almost allowing Osei to take advantage. He's got the ball back. Just struggling to keep their feet, the Africans.
Here the Brazilians just really struggling to find it difficult down the bottom corner, but the Ghanaians, Gordon, really look dangerous when they're prepared to get the ball and run at players.
I don't know if that was supposed to be a shot, but again Nkrumah, his touch has been very poor since he came on. He's done well here though to win back possession. Easy for Marquinhos. Hasn't been too comfortable collecting the ball, but made a good challenge there to win back possession in Nkrumah. Leonardo. Looked like a handball from Tete, and the whistle is gone. And somebody may be getting booked again. It's Tete this time. So an own goal and a booking for Tete. Hasn't been one of the best nights in his short soccer career.
Well, the Brazilians have been trying to work this move all night. They've got Leonardo out wide. It's a wonderful little bit of skill here to take it over Tete, who was prepared to leap forward with his hand. And again, the referee coming in quite rightly so on this occasion, presenting the yellow card.
Leo and Anderson over the ball. It'll be Leo with the free kick. But again, it was a disappointing effort from Brazil. Got to admire the confidence in this team, Ricky, taking free kicks and having a pot at goal from that distance.
Well, we're certainly viewing tonight, Gordon, some of the best young players on the world scene.
And I thought for a minute there that the referee may have awarded a penalty. Instead, he's awarded a free kick against Osei.
Well, the referee on this occasion felt very, very confident. He moved straight in, and Bruno just getting in a tackle there with Osei. But, again, as I say, the referee straight in, awarding the free kick to Brazil.
Took his time, the referee, deciding on which way that was going to go, and I thought that it may have gone against Brazil for the fend off from Bruno. Domborte, again, the Africans unable to gather possession. Ricardo read it well, got in front of Domborte. Ataku. Quickly taken by Ghana. They don't have any time to mess around with. Nkrumah. Marquinhos at the second attempt. So Nkrumah with the throw. Doesn't get the distance that we saw from the Polish side on this ground a week or two back. they could certainly launch their throws right into the near post, but Kruma certainly didn't have the power on that occasion. Donkor did well with the header. Adriano. Leo, oh, lovely skill from the big man. Oh, just beautiful to watch from Leo. Unfortunately for him, he couldn't slice through the Ghanaian defence. Bruno. Kaka. Bruno leaving it for Kaka. Adriano. Always a blue shirt available for Brazil. Looking for Kaka again. And Essien gives up the corner.
Well, Leo here, I mean, this is just a wonderful piece of play. He's really responding to the crowd. They're up on their feet. They're really giving him the chance that he's responding to. And just to finish this off, he really just, there was opportunities to play the ball out wide, but he elects to play it down the middle. It was a little bit tight. The Ghanaians had tightened up their defence.
Bruno. Near post, touch on from a defender, and it's a corner on the other side this time. Marquinhos very close.
Really is that delivery that's counting for the Brazilians tonight, and this is a much better ball played into the danger zone for the Brazilians, and the Ghana defender doing extremely well there, just catching himself off balance. Fortunately, just seeing it guide across to the other side, and Brazil now with an opportunity on the far side.
So Brazil dominating in corners as well as on the score sheet. Anderson swinging it in again. Banahene. Good hands from the Africans. Now they need to attack at pace. Domborte. Wasted ball from Domborte. He only had Adu in front of him on that occasion, but he needed somebody to hold possession of the ball. Anderson. Leo, Kaka, Eduardo opening up for Brazil. Here's Walker. Kaka, lovely movement. Walker again, the captain. Walker. Ghana have to be careful. Adriano, not far away.
You really do feel on occasions, Gordon, that this Brazilian side can just turn it on up to a different level than the Ghanaians can really accept. The ball falling just free here for Adriano, who hasn't really had the best of nights by hitting the back of the net or hitting the target, but another opportunity presented his way. But they really do, Gordon, look like a side that can step the tempo up whenever required.
Half an hour to go in the second semi-final of the World Under-17 Championships. And Brazil lead Ghana 2-0, and looking very, very comfortable at this stage in the game. Kruma looking for Domborte, and everything that's been delivered forward from Ghana has been dealt with very comfortably by Brazil. Anderson. Leonardo with some space on the right side. It's closed down effectively by Michael Donkor.
The support the Brazilians are providing tonight is just it's really wonderful to watch. I mean, when the players on the ball, they're offering support on both sides, and players are working very, very hard to get into positions to receive the ball and make it easier just for the player on the ball to knock it off easy. Here's Domborte just getting his hand on the ball. The free kick going the way of the Brazilians.
Kaka with the throw. Leo. Bruno. Barnahene, a difficult one for the African keeper, but he did that superbly well under the challenge from Adriano.
Yeah, just prepared to put this one right into the back of the box, and the keeper coming and doing extremely well with Leonardo just appearing again at the back stick for a fair challenge, but the goalkeeper winning on this occasion.
And that shot you saw before as you watched Barnahene collect that cross. In the background, this huge crowd at North Harbour. The main stand on the far side of the field is jam-packed. Nkrumah. Nkrumah gets another opportunity with the throw. Again, it looked like a foul throw. He's really struggling to get hold of the ball on these throw-ins. But again, it's easy for Brazil. Ataku. Here's Domborte. Can't collect the ball. He's had few opportunities to shine this evening, Domborte. Leo. Flag has gone up, and I think the flag was for Adriano on this near side. That's certainly the player it was. Leonardo, who made a good run from an onside position. Was his attacking teammate who had straight offside. Leo. Obadai. Bruno with some space to work in. 4 against 4. Leonardo looking for Adriano. Leaves it for Bruno. Bruno continues his run. Maybe on that occasion, Bruno should have gone for goal himself. Eduardo. Essien was stronger in the tackle. Adu and Anderson challenging for the ball. It's part of the big crowd at North Harbour. Lamptey. Got Adu and Osei at the back post. Nothing working for Ghana.
Just that final delivery into that front third again, Gordon, is really letting the Ghanaian side down tonight. And Don Borde's been a player that's certainly a star for them, but he's operated quite quietly on the left-hand side tonight. And one would wonder that the management hasn't really got him involved in more into the centre of the park, Gordon, and just got a little bit more involved in the game, given him a little bit more of the ball, and tried to provide the Ghanaian team with some goal-scoring opportunities.
Brazil outshooting Ghana, both shots on goal and shots on target. And the Africans have won a corner. So approaching the halfway point in the second spell. And Ghana really need to start firing. Chance! From Lamptey.
Well, the one thing the Ghanaians have really lacked tonight, and that's the quality of the ball into the box. But here we see a superb corner. Lamptey arriving at the near post and definitely making a header past the advancing goalkeeper, but that really has been a problem for them tonight. They've got it spot on with this corner kick, and Lamptey responding with a fine header to the back of the net.
Well, they're very, very happy indeed. Halfway through the second spell, and Ghana are now back in it. 2-1 Brazil lead.
huge crowd here tonight, Gordon. Really has separated themselves. For me, 50-50 for the Brazilians, obviously for the Ghanaians, and certainly a huge roar going up around the stadium with that. This has really set the game alight.
Sakaka, another one to go into the referee's notebook. Reminding you that Eduardo and Leo have yellow cards for Brazil coming into this match. As yet, they haven't been booked this evening. But Michael Essien for Ghana has been booked this evening and had a yellow card from the quarterfinal. Here's a chance for Anaku. Wow, that goal has sparked them into life.
Lovely bit of individual play here by Atiku. Takes on the two of the Brazilians, and now the confidence in the Ghanaian side is starting to come to the fore. And Atiku prepared to have a strike. The Brazilian keeper having to be full stretch, diving to his left just to have the ball covered, disappearing to the safety of the Brazilian keeper. But really, the Ghanaians now have got their heads up. They're looking to play. The energy level looks a little bit more, and for me, the support is coming more to the front runners.
Flag's gone up against Adriano. So Ghana have a little spring in their step now. They see a glimmer of hope. At 2-0, they weren't playing well. Atiku with 3 goals in this tournament. And Lamptey, the goal scorer, he joins Atiku and Gomborte. Lamptey now has 3. Atiku. Gomborte. Passing's a bit crisper now from Ghana. Lamptey, the goal scorer. Atiku. Only got Gomborte in the box. Atiku beats him and slips over, and in his delivery disappoints. Minutes to go. Brazil holding on. 2-1 against Ghana. Leo. The run is from Leonardo. The flag stays down. Adriano, the only man in a blue shirt in the box. Leonardo retains possession. Throw in a dangerous position. Brazil in no rush to take it. Bruno's finally arrived. Kaka. Bruno delivers. Adriano somehow got his head to that. He had no real right to. Adu. Lamptey takes on Bruno. Gomborte, the flag has finally gone up. Well, the flag stayed down for a long time, but eventually went up to halt the Ghana attack in its tracks.
Certainly forcing Brazil now, Gordon, to get the mental side of their game back on track and get ball possession back. They were enjoying such a large slice of that until the Ghanaians have put one in the back of their net. As we say, the spring in the step is certainly with Ghana. Brazil looking now to organise, protect the 2-1 lead that they have.
Kaka, Leonardo, Adriano, unable to control it on the edge of the Ghanaian box. The players really struggling to keep their footing. Ghana keen to move the ball very quickly.
Well, there hasn't really been a lot of leeway by the referee tonight, and not really a lot on that challenge, and I think just the conditions probably playing a major part in that one.
Marquinhos to take this free kick. Adriano getting advantage from his hands, I think. And one of the Ghanaians has stayed down. Michael Essien. He's not happy. Michael Essien looks like somebody may have stood on his foot.
Well, we just see a trailing foot left in there by Leo, and probably Essien with fair claims to that one, Gordon, although it didn't look to be too much, but I think the intent could have been there.
Certainly broken leg material, that one, if he had connected properly. Wolfgang Stark, the fourth official. The man who took charge of the USA against New Zealand on opening night at North Harbour Stadium. A better passage of play for Ghana. They've sneaked a goal. Leonardo running at Tete. Tete had better be careful, kicking the ball away on that occasion. He already has picked up a booking this evening. Kaka, low to Essien. Mistake by Essien on the edge of the box. Comes away with it, however. Lamptey, nobody in front of him. Here's Nkrumah. It's actually Osei who's made a run from the defensive area. And Osei is going to be booked. I think he's about to be substituted, Osei.
That really is a bit of totally unfair play there by Essien. I mean, he's completely beaten. Just to hook his arm around the neck of the Brazilian.
So Osei gets booked and also gets substituted. And Razak is on in place of Osei. And he'll go straight up front, Razak. There's a lot of talk that there's not a great deal of depth on the Ghanaian bench. So it'll be interesting to see what impression Razak can make on this match with less than 15 minutes remaining. So another corner to Brazil. Taken short by Eduardo, he gets it back. Kaka. Leonardo making a run right down the middle. Great vision from Leonardo.
Well, change of tactics here by the Brazilians. They've been prepared to go short. They've picked out Leonardo on the edge of the box. And with a lovely touch, just played into the space, and the recovering defender doing extremely well just to get there to clear the ball away for safety.
Ghana have played in every final of this tournament in the 90s. 91, they beat Spain 1-0. In 93, they lost 2-1 to Nigeria. 95, they beat Brazil by 3-2. In 97, Brazil returned the compliment by beating Ghana 2-1. So they still have some work to do, Ghana, if they're to make it 5 from 5 in the 90s. Here's a chance for Numan Razak, the ball just bouncing away from him off the slippery surface.
Wonderful move here by Ghana, and just stringing the passes together down the right-hand side of the park. Slinking here, lovely little 1-2, played over the top of the Brazilians that they've been looking for the quality ball all night, but just on this occasion, the pitch just taking it away to the keeper's arms.
Leonardo. They try and soak up some time, wins the free kick instead.
Leonardo Gordon certainly is a player that's really come on the scene, and as you say, here we see him again involved, and he's really prepared to work hard. He's a good receiver. He's obviously one of the best players that the Brazilians have, but one must wonder whether his introduction into the side late into the tournament was perhaps done on purpose, and the explosion he's made with the 3 goals in the quarterfinals, and certainly his contribution tonight, one would think that maybe it's the big card that they've kept up their sleeve.
So substitution, Anderson, the defender, is off for Souza, who's centre forward. Oh, Barahane just with a hand to get that away from the danger area. So the Brazilians have really laid out their stall.
Quality cross, and the keeper doing extremely well here just to get a hand taking it away from the advancing Brazilian attacker at the back stick.
That was Souza, the man who just replaced Anderson. Here it could be Souza again, Adriano with the header. So Brazil replacing a defender for an attacker. They understand how close this match is. Here's Leonardo. Push though. Saw Leonardo score a goal in a similar position on Sunday in the quarterfinal. Well, Razak has certainly got some pace.
Razak just clashing with Bruno down here on the right-hand side, and
seems that Bruno's okay. Essien just misjudging the bounce, manages to recover, however. Kruma, 10 minutes remaining, 2-1 Brazil lead. Dombote, the flag stays down, he's got a man in the middle, it's Razak. Dombote, a chance, they've scored! And it's Obadai with the equaliser.
well, here we have it again, the Ghanaians, and here's Dombote. He's changed sides, he's got a wonderful shot in with the keeper to save, but on hand, Obadiah just to stab it home with the advancing goalkeeper, but Ghana back to 2-2. We just see it again, just needing to get the shot on target. He does extremely well with it. But we've got Dombote. I mean, he's been playing all night down the left-hand side. He picks up a role on the right-hand side.
Well, it was actually Adu who finally picked up the final ball. His 6th goal of the tournament. Adu, the man who finally got the last touch on it. And it takes his tally to 6 for the competition. Opportunity for Brazil. Adu on the spot. Obadiah. Razak. Well, will Ghana get up and score the winner? They've certainly had the better of the last 15 minutes. Araku. Souza. Leo does well to thread the pass through to Souza. Lamptey just losing his footing again. Seen a lot of that in this game. Leo. Lamptey, another chance for Ghana. Dombote, great save by Robinho. What a transformation in this match.
Dombote again coming down the right-hand side, presenting himself with a wonderful opportunity. But again, one must wonder here, we've got the Ghanaian at the back stick where maybe just the ball rolled to him. We could have seen Ghana 3-2 with a tap-in.
Nkrumah with the corner. Good back post. Easy for Robinho.
We've really seen a change in the music around the grounds now, Gordon. The Ghanaian real fanatical supporters have really got the bongo drums going in the music. But here's Dombote again with a wonderful opportunity. Just the goalkeeper to beat. Keeper does extremely well. The technique was there. He palms it away for safety.
Leo gets shrugged off the ball. Essien still working hard for his team, even though he won't play in the final. If they were to make it. The second booking in the second stage of the tournament. Nkrumah with a lot of space. Wins a corner. Well, look at that turnaround. 10-10 in the shots. And Ghana now leads 6-4 on shots on target. They have turned the semi-final on its head. Nkrumah, not a good corner. Obadiah launches it back in.
Well, one of the real amazing things of this tournament for me, Gordon, has been the ability for teams to really dig deep, turn games around and come back with some very encouraging results. And we're certainly seeing that tonight with the Ghanaians, with their heads up and the ability of their football really coming to the fore.
5 minutes remaining. Ghana, 2 second-half goals, have locked this semi-final up at 2-2. Both these teams have scored 68 goals in the under-17 finals tournament, and both have conceded 24. It's almost impossible to separate them. Lamptey, the man who scored the first goal. The flag's gone up for the offside against Razak. Well, there you go, man. They've travelled a long way to support their side. Ghana with the best record of any country in these championships over the years, and have shown this evening against the defending champions that they can't be taken lightly. Here's Walker, Leonardo, maybe a late chance from Michel Souza. What an excellent challenge from Essien.
Well, it's end-to-end stuff, and Leonardo just rolling a lovely ball in there for Souza, but the defender from Ghana getting well back.
Corner to the back post to Leo. Tries to work some room for the shot. It's closed down quickly. Ghana are starting to enjoy themselves. Looking for Don Borte. Walker's done remarkably well to keep that from finding the Ghanaian winger. Souza. Leonardo making a run. Nobody's gone with them. Souza can't deliver it. Kaka. Well, what a finish to this semi-final. Remember, if it stays at 2-2, we'll have 2 15-minute periods of extra time, but the golden goal rule does apply, so the first team to score in extra time will be the winner. If the match is still 2-2 at the end of extra time, then penalties will decide the team that goes through to the final. A mistake at the back, Razak. And wins a corner. Brazil aren't happy. They say that Razak got the final touch. And there's a confirmation that Adu, who scored the second goal, top goal scorer in the competition, going for the golden boot. Don Borte. 90 seconds on the clock. Don Borte with a swinging corner that Robinho got at the second attempt. One minute remaining. The Brazilian coach signaling his players to go forward. Maybe he realizes that Ghana could be the fresher going into extra time, having come from 2 goals down. They'll be buoyed by that. He hasn't sat down all night. Eduardo somehow manages to get a foot on that one. Kaka. Here's Eduardo again. Adriano. There'll be 3 minutes of added time. So you wouldn't put money on extra time just yet. We're into time added on at the end of the game. 3 more minutes. Adu. That somehow got all the way to the centre of the Brazilian penalty area. There's worry on that face. And Kruma looks for Razak, but only finds Adriano. Leo running straight at the defence. Essien. Looks a very good player, Michael Essien. Now Don Borte on the overlap. A late chance. Well, Ricky, Ghana will certainly be looking forward to extra time a lot more than Brazil.
Well, I've really relished the challenge of the second half, Gordon, and scored 2 wonderful goals, and you really have to think that they could go on to win this game, and that would be remarkable. 2-0 down against Brazil, the current champions, and to come out, the spring in the step is surely there, and but this isn't over yet.
There's Souza, found some space. Chance for Leonardo. The defence is very, very strong for the Africans. Don Borte surging forward. Adu, the man who scored the equaliser. Essien coming forward. conscious that they don't need to make mistakes at this stage in the game. They've had 2 minutes of added time at the end of this game. A minute remaining. Ataku. Looking for Don Borte, who switched wings.
That really has paid dividends for the Ghana side in the second half, and I think just the movement of Don Borte and certainly the introduction of Razak up front, he certainly looks like he's got a lot of speed. The conditions have certainly suited him, and he shifted that Brazilian defence around to cause them all sorts of problems in this last 25 minutes.
Minutes are up, and we face extra time in this semi-final. Ghana have pulled themselves back from 2 goals down. There's the man who got the equaliser. Brazil to make a substitution. Wellington coming on for Kaka. There's Wellington on the field. So they're underway. The extra time in the second semi-final at North Harbour. Souza. They have won the corner. So early pressure from the Brazilians. Remember, it could all be over within a few seconds. Should a team score? Eduardo to take the right wing corner for Brazil. 4 players on the penalty spot. He's looking for Marquinhos.
Well, it was the big central defender Marquinhos that we're looking for on this occasion, and he does extremely well here to climb above the Ghanaian defence. Unfortunately this time just to see it sail across the top of the bar. But opportunities now, Gordon. Anything around the edge of the box, set pieces, it's important that they at least get it on target.
So Brazil making the early running, and Krumer again pulled up for a foul throw. That's his second since coming on as a substitute. Maybe having trouble with the wet ball. Adu and Krumer. Lunges in with the challenge, and Nkrumah's going to be booked. And Wellington retaliated. So Nkrumah gets the booking. Wellington's okay. The referee didn't deem that to be a punch. But he's suffering from the challenge. It's the 7th man to enter the referee's notebook this evening. 4 from Ghana, 3 from Brazil. Krumer looking for Razak, who's got some real pace. And a mistake from Marquinhos. This time Nkrumah's throw is a legal one. And the referee's seen something. He's given the free kick for the challenge on Razak.
Well, the referee's given this one for shirt pulling, and you see the Brazilian just really appear to be too much in that one. Certainly a dangerous position now for Ghana.
Don Borte, outside of the right foot. And the referee, it says it didn't touch his sole, but it looked to me like somebody may have brushed their head against it.
This is certainly a real touch of confidence here, and prepared to have a go right from the sideline.
Everybody did duck out of the way. Here's Domborte. I thought he was going to pick up the ball, but Marquinhos looking for Souza. Essien. Wellington. Adriano, Leonardo, Walker. Lovely play, Souza. Can't get a foot on it. Doncourt able to bring it away for Ghana. Brazil. Ghana. Leonardo with two Ghanaian defenders to beat. Eduardo. Souza's inside him. Finds Souza. Lovely 1-2. And Leonardo wins the free kick.
This one certainly doesn't go to the approval of the crowd, and I think Leonardo here very much in a contest with Tite. Perhaps making a little bit more out of that one than really there was.
10 minutes remaining in the first period of extra time. I think the North Harbour crowd have a favourite, and it's the Africans who have their support. Eduardo with the free kick. Balahale with a good punch. Wellington. Cut out by Walker, who's playing in a much deeper role in this extra time. Souza shrugs off one challenge. Adriano. Domborte keeping it in play. Only for Brazil to try and construct something. The crowd loving the skills of these players. Kruma.
Brazil really needing to get Leonardo and Souza just working a little bit closer together. They are picking up positions up front a little bit wide, and delivery in the box is singling out just one of them.
Leo needs some support. He's got Lamptey and Doncourt with him. Walker's coming to help him. Maybe he doesn't need support, Leo. Both teams getting frustrated with some of the decisions from the officials. Wellington, a long distance, but never going to trouble Banahane.
Ghana will be thinking at this stage about the success they had in down the line when they scored the golden goal, Gordon. So it certainly could be something to go in their favour.
Well, Ghana have experience of this situation. 2-2 in the quarter-final with Uruguay. Before Adu scored the golden goal. Leonardo battles away, wins possession. Leonardo, Souza, been taken away from goal. Adriano, who's also dropped deeper in this extra time period. Playing more in the midfield, Adriano, than in the normal time.
Just confrontation here with Ricardo, who's already on the card, so he'll have to be careful in case they do advance through to the final.
Adu. Ataku leaves it for Nkrumah. Souza. Leo. Wellington moving forward. Nobody's leaving North Harbour Stadium as we see Souza goes down injured. Doesn't look very happy, Souza. Rubinho should be comfortable under that one. Big crowd at North Harbour loving every minute of this semi-final. Wellington. Leo. Chance for Souza. The flag's gone up though. What an open game of football, Ricky.
Oh, this is terrific, and both sides are really prepared to chase this golden goal. We haven't got one sitting back hoping that the 15 minutes each half will bypass and rely on the penalties at the end of it. But it's been exciting since the first whistle.
Leo. Lamptey, the man who scored the opening goal for Ghana, wins a free kick. Razak. Obadai. Difficult one for Adu, but Adriano's made a real mess of it coming out of defence. Souza really playing a lone role up front. Leonardo hasn't had many opportunities since that goal in the first half. Leo makes the opportunity. Strikes it well wide.
Well, he really has been really quiet through the last 45 minutes, Gordon, certainly in the part of this extra time, but does extremely well down the right-hand side. But he'll be disappointed, a player of his ability, the final shot with that.
Eduardo again shows some lovely touch on the ball. Walker. Leo, who's caused Ghana some problems in this opening period of extra time. Walker. Leonardo's at the back post. Leo. Souza is in the middle of the penalty area. Wellington. Wellington looks to chip. Balahine just looked up and saw the keeper off his line. Substitution will be made in a minute after the referee has checked to see how Donkor is. And it looks like it's a bit of cramp. And not a soul is leaving North Harbour. They're loving it. Ghana are keen to make a substitution once they find out how serious Donkor is. Donkor leaves the field. We'll have to wait and see for how long. Seconds remaining in the first period of extra time at North Harbour. Ranahene waits for it to fall to him. It seems like Doncourt is in some serious trouble on the far side. They may be looking to replace him.
Well, I think they probably need to make that decision rather quickly, Gordon. It's golden goal time, and they certainly won't want to be playing the Brazilians one man short. So it's either a substitution or Doncourt needs to get back up on his feet and get back into the action.
Doncourt is not good. Kruma. Nice play. Wellington. Leonardo. Ghana down to 10 players. They may be exposed now by Leonardo. Sousa's in the box. It's right away across the goal area, and nobody could touch it home.
This was a wonderful opportunity for Leonardo, but his first touch just took him away from goal here. The angle was made a little more difficult for him, and he fired a low shot across the box looking for his striking partner Sousa, who unfortunately on this occasion just failed to make contact. But he'll be disappointed with that one, Gordon. I thought that was an ideal opportunity, certainly to target it on goal. His first touch just allowed him to go too far away.
So there'll be an extra minute to be played in this first period of extra time. We're into injury time now. Ghana have made a substitution. Frimpong on for Doncourt, who left the field injured. Mistake. Allowing Domborte to make some headway. They've won the free kick. Domborte's got some shot in them. He's given this thumbs up to somebody as we see the free kick again. This may just be within the range of someone like Domborte. Referee ensuring the wall is the required distance. Domborte shoots from distance. Good hands from the keeper. First period of extra time is over. The referee signals it's an immediate turnaround. There's been no goals.
Wonderful strike from Domborte. He certainly backed his own ability here, which is certainly undoubted. Firing a shot, and the keeper doing extremely well, going down to his right. But here we go again. Domborte taking the game by the scruff of the neck, looking for that final winning goal. But the crowd are going absolutely excited here at North Harbour. They're up on their feet, they're dancing to the music, they're really responding to the quality of football we're seeing here.
Look at the smiles on people's faces, they really are enjoying it. And the immediate turnaround, the referee signals the second period of extra time underway, reminding you that if it stays at 2-2, we have the heartbreak of penalties. Already seen that heartbreak earlier today as the United States bowed out of contention on penalty kicks against Australia. A terrible way to lose a football match. These two sides playing for a place in the final on Saturday afternoon at North Harbour against Australia. Leonardo. Leo. Wins a free kick. This could be dangerous for Ghana. Brazil have a free kick just outside the penalty area.
Amazing with these circumstances now, Gordon. I mean, here we see Leo getting involved in the action. Just getting two players now getting involved. And Essien, who's been in all the thick of the action tonight, getting involved. And here it's presented a chance to Brazil, and the crowd once again up on their feet. They really sense here the technicians of Brazil. They really fancy that this one could fly into the back of the net.
A lot of discussion over the ball as to who's going to take it. Eduardo was given a pat on the back, so maybe that's an indication. that he will have the task. Ricardo and Wellington are hovering as well. It is Eduardo, and the wall does its job wonderfully well. A mistake by Ghana. Adriano launching it in, looking for Sousa. Leonardo. Well, a bit of pinball in the penalty area. And I think Adriano, or was it Sousa, who had just lost it off the head of Leonardo. An elbow going in there from Bruno. Referee just telling these players to keep their cool this late stage. These sides going for the golden goal, which will decide this match. Adriano. Pushed wide by Adu. Marquinhos, no messing at the back for Brazil. Adu just manages to keep that in play. Eduardo. Surging run from Eduardo. Domborte. Bruno gives it away to Lamptey.
Well, both sides now really trying to get themselves into good goal-scoring opportunities, and Lamptey doing extremely well there just to play the ball off the Brazilian foot to set up a long throw.
Overdye. Sitting across, Fabinho comes and punches. Adaku with the handball. The referee hasn't seen it. A definite handball from Adaku on that occasion that neither the referee nor his assistant on the far side saw. Adaku just leaving it a bit short. Leo. This is Wellington. Leonardo, the flag stayed down. He's got Sousa in the box. Leonardo thinks about it himself. Balahine does well to push it away for a corner.
Well, on this opportunity, Leonardo decides he cuts inside the fullback, does well here. Sousa, the striking partner's taken the defence away, and the opportunity's created for Leonardo to have a strike. You see, he just cuts inside again, the defender. The keeper well across, well covered.
Probably was going wide, but Balahine didn't know that. And as you saw in the shot earlier, Leandro is waiting to come on for Brazil. Have to wait till after this corner. Eduardo, he's nowhere! Oh, it's just off the line, but Balahine came flapping and didn't make it. Flag's gone up.
Well, Leo just looking to chest that down and get a volley away, but the linesman on the far side this time detecting the handball.
Balahine has had a very good game in the Ghanaian goal, but on that occasion, he was in the middle of nowhere. 5 minutes gone, second spell of extra time, and still nothing to separate these two sides. Free kick, the tackle of Domborte, and Brazil will now be able to make the substitution. Sousa, who came on as a sub, is now coming off. He hasn't been on very long, but he's failed to make an impression by the looks of things, and he's come off. Leo wins the free kick.
Seems a little bit of a strange substitution, that one, Gordon, but perhaps Leandro's a penalty spot specialist, and maybe that's going through the coaching staff's mind for Brazil. Let's get him on the park, just in case we do go to penalties.
Here he is, Leandro. Played in all the group matches, but didn't make it for the quarter-final win over Paraguay. Halfway through the second spell of extra time. And another free kick as Ghana edge their way closer to the Brazilian goal. Domborte leaves it for Nkrumah. Look into Razak. Players falling over. Eduardo. Here's Leandro. Leonardo's in the box. Walker. Adriano just shoving the gun end off the ball. Here's Leonardo, who perhaps saw that rather late and couldn't bring it down off his chest as he would have hoped. Another foul throw from Obadite. Allowed to play on. Eduardo wins the free kick again. His face shows the frustration. Take it quickly to Leo. Ten men behind the ball for Ghana. Wellington. Piece of possession football from Brazil.
Well, Brazil just content just to keep it, looking, probing, just waiting for that one opportunity just to spring their way to score the winning goal.
So the free kick taken by Obade. 2-2 the score. Approaching the last 5 minutes of extra time. Penalties await these two sides. They'll both be back on Saturday on this ground, but one will be playing in the final and one will be playing for third place. Domborte. Razak in the box!
Well, Razak's really done extremely well here. He's got pace, he's got himself into the box, and just coming in behind the keeper. Just an off chance here really for Ghana. They haven't created too much attacking-wise, Gordon, in the last 10 minutes, and Brazil have been down their end a lot, and now's an opportunity for Ghana perhaps to see what they can spring on them in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Don't know that the ball actually went into play. The referee has indicated that, so Obadiah will get another chance. Jones Adekoefu making his point known. Lamptey this time with the throw, and again it's not a good throw, but the referee allows it to continue. The ball slipped out of Lamptey's hands. Razak, I think, was trying to hook that across with the outside of the right foot. But only succeeded in demolishing a chair behind the goal. 2.5 minutes of this match remaining. Brazil 2 goals up at half-time. Ghana fighting their way back into the semi-final. Wellington, with some tired legs, out on the field. It's been wet, the flag stayed down. Leonardo in the box, and again he's slipped, and the opportunity is missed.
Well, they broke the back of the defence here again, and Leandro really has had a lot of problems out there on the left-hand side, and the delivery into the box certainly wasn't the result he was looking for, and fortunately for the JVC side, Gordon gets a little nudge.
Scores from Adiku. Couldn't find another yellow shirt though, and all it's done is give away possession. Leo looking for the run of Adriano, gets the ball back and can try something again. It's not going to trouble Banahene. Some urgency about Ghana. They don't want to go to penalty kicks. Wellington. Again, Banahene should be comfortable under that one. Seconds on the clock. Is there going to be a grandstand finish to this semi-final? Or do we need to go through the torture of penalties? Leo again. This time it's Adriano who won't be able to get on the end of the ball. Both coaches on their feet, urging one last effort from their players. We're into the last minute of extra time. The crowd at North Harbour have certainly had their money's worth tonight. Ataku. Finding Don Borte. Adu almost getting on the end of it. He's the danger man.
Well, Ghana really trying to throw everything, the kitchen sink at the Brazilians, but Bushi on that occasion just not quite falling for Don Borte, doing some great work again. Gordon, he's changed sides, he's working down the right-hand side, and Adiku just really finding just difficult to get forward and support that.
It's all over. They'll have to go to penalties. And it's now in the lap of the gods. These two sides. See the Brazilians all linking arms, and it's Leonardo who has been entrusted with the first penalty kick as the crowd goes remarkably quiet. Well, after all the noise, Leonardo walks forward in almost silence. He scored a hat-trick on Sunday against Paraguay, and he has the job of putting his country one up in the penalty shootout. Leonardo against Banahene. 1-0 Brazil. Comfortable penalty from Leonardo. Michael Essien with the job, first up for Ghana. Oh, and off the post, but it's enough for Ghana to level the scores at 1-1 in the penalty shootout. Well, the perfect penalty, really, in off the post. If there's anything closer, and Robinho may have saved it. Marquinhos with the second kick for Brazil. He's done it. Another good penalty, kept it low, so the pressure goes back on Ghana. Dombote. Oh, he's missed it! Dreadful penalty by Dombote. And how costly will that miss be? So Brazil lead 2-1, 2 penalties taken. Each side to take 5. Eduardo to put some daylight between Brazil and Ghana. Comfortable penalty from Eduardo. So Brazil lead 3-1. Obadai to keep his country in the competition. Oh, he's missed it as well. Virtually the same spot as Dombote. Well, now it's the captain Walker. If he scores, Brazil are into the final. (3-1) Brazil lead. If the captain scores this one, it's all over. Walker against Vanahene. He saved it! Still a chance for Ghana. So, and Nkrumah must score. The fullback must score to keep the Africans in it. Nkrumah against Robinho. He's made it 3-2. Still all on. So the job is entrusted to Ricardo. If he scores this one, There is no need for Ghana to take the final penalty. Ricardo against Banahene. This to put them in the final. He's done it! They're through! Brazil will play Australia in the final of the World Under-17 Championships at North Harbour Stadium on Saturday. And they're ecstatic. Ghana are distraught. They've rushed to the fans on the far side. Eduardo, is he crying?